Welcome back, guys, and welcome to the city of Fuzhou, the capital of Fujian Province. At the moment I'm wandering around some winding little alleyways in the centre of the city. This part of the town is called the 3 Lanes and 7 Alleys. The coastal city of Fuzhou is not very high on most people's China travel plans, but as I found out in the few days I spent here, it should be. In this video, we will hike up a famous hill, explore one of the most ancient wooden buildings in China, and bag a lot of pagodas. Let's get going. There are Buddhist temples everywhere in this city. It was one of the old cradles of Buddhism, this place, and apparently there are 6 designated key Buddhist temples in this city, which is more than any other city in China, quite impressively. So it's got some pretty strong connections, strong religious connections. First up is Gushan, or Drum Mountain. It's a nice but busy little walk a few kilometers east of the city and has some good deep history. So there are 2 paths up the mountain, the pine, the love of pine, and the ancient path. There's also a cable car. I think I'm going to walk up the ancient path. Maybe I'll just walk down the love of pine path. In ancient times, poets and scholars would stop here, take a rest, and write poems about the view. And despite being monitored, everyone was having a lovely stop before the final push onto the top. We just left the halfway pavilion. It's a pretty easy walk, to be honest. However, I'm sweating. Oh my god, it's quite warm today. It's around 20 degrees, despite being quite early in the morning still. I'm looking forward to getting to the top. I can't resist a hill or a mountain with a temple on the top, which is good because in China there are, a gazillion of them. Starting to get a nice view. Well, I said that until the cable car went in front of me. It's a nice view of the city of Fuzhou, the capital of the province. If you get to the top of a mountain in China, especially a mountain with a cable car, there are just thousands of people, in costume and high heels. It's always so weird, so busy where the cable cars are, and walk a bit further on, there's just hardly any people, it's quiet. But actually the real treasure up here is a temple called Yongchen Temple, which I'm going to right now. And the path is quiet. Well, this is quite beautiful, isn't it? Feels lovely up here in the mountain. Forget you're in the city. I mean, the city's really, it's a couple of kilometers away actually. It's been a famous spot for people to hike up and look around this mountain for a long time. Now, as you can see, the temple buildings here are new builds, but I do know that there are twin Northern Song Dynasty pagodas somewhere here, about 1,000 years old, so they're the real treasures here as far as I'm concerned. No idea where they are, and I don't know, this is a huge temple, an active temple. There are a lot of monks wandering around. Oh, I can hear a noisy cat. Hello. Oh, goodness me. All right, man. This was an interesting and unexpected part of the mountain that reminded me of my time climbing Mount Tai. Every inch of the rock here is covered in engravings from various dynasties, and on this beautiful January morning, it looked absolutely sublime. This temple is sprawling all over the top of this mountain. Still no sign of any pagodas. God damn it. This is the end of the path. Yeah, I guess head back and continue the pagoda hunt. They're up here somewhere on top of this mountain, I'm telling you. Promise you. So there's like a whole other temple I just didn't see. Right here, hidden in the trees. So these twin pagodas, one on either side of the entrance here, are from the Northern Song Dynasty. They were built in 1082. Well, it took me a while to find them, but here they are. Twin pagodas at the front door of a mountain temple. Wonderful. The two pagodas here represent the past and present Buddhas and are the first pagodas of many I will show you in Fuzhou city. I quite like the rusty coloured glaze on them as well. Add them to the list. Well, these are definitely the oldest thing up here on this mountain. 1,000 years old. And they're beautiful. They used to be in a different place actually, in a little village just outside of Fuzhou, and they got moved here in the 1970s. There's actually quite a lovely mountain temple, and it's an easy walk or a cable car. And if you're in, if in Fuzhou, it's a morning trip, not even a day trip, a morning trip, super close to the city. Right, time to head back to the city for an ancient architectural wonder. So of all the many temples in Fuzhou, this one I'm walking past right now is one of the smallest, most unassuming, but has the most important building in it. Let's go and have a look. So from the original Hualin temple, only one building remains, and it's got to be the most important building in this whole city. One of the most important buildings, to be honest, in the whole south of China. Let's go and have a look. Historically, wood was the building material of choice in China, and as a result of that, not many survive from over 1,000 years ago. When you see an old wooden building in China from between the Tang and Song dynasties, they are mostly in very remote areas. Very few exist within cities. This is a wonderful exception, and unbelievably not a popular tourist spot at all. Make the trip, it's worth it. It's not the biggest hall you've ever seen, however, the bracket sets that hold the roof up, dogong they're called in Chinese, are absolutely massive. Super oversized in comparison to the actual size of the building and the pillars. In the previous dynasty, the Tang dynasty, in all of China there are only 4 surviving wooden buildings from that period of time, and they're all in the province of Shanxi. From the following period, which is the 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period, there are 9 buildings remaining, and this is one of them, and it's the only one in the south of China, the only one that is south of the Yangtze River, which makes it a real treasure, here. So most of the old historical buildings you do find in China are definitely in the north. Should we have a little look inside? It's a marvellous building and the true treasure of this city as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't have the same feel as the really old wooden halls in like Fujian Province, but again it's because it's in the middle of a big city, and therefore it's had a lot more paintwork and touch-ups over the years, I suppose. The big old temples in Shanxi, no one visits them, so they're just kind of there, and they feel so ancient when you go inside, like that smell of old wooden things. This is nice though. What a beautiful place. There are always cats in temples. Hello there. Don't attack me. You look a bit crazy. I'm your friend, I promise. Honestly, that's a marvellous building. So rare and precious, these ancient wooden buildings. Right, we're way out of the city centre now, about as far as the subway here extends, and there's another couple of old pagodas down here and a good bit of history. Let's have a quick look. So this is Zhonghe Park, Zheng He was a very famous historical figure in China. There's a deep connection to him right here in Fuzhou and with this pagoda, and we're going to go and see in a moment. China's most famous mariner, Zheng He, used this pagoda as a navigation point during the Ming Dynasty, and it still stands proudly today. Fuzhou Pagoda is a 7-story, 28-metre tall pagoda and has some pretty cool carvings of heroes and beasts on it. It's always worth making the journey out to these pagodas, however far away they are from where you're staying. This was built in 1117, it's Northern Song Dynasty, it makes it very old. So it was used as a navigation point for Zheng He on his expeditions. And the sign at the front gate actually also said that it was largely renovated under the command of Zheng He as well. He's one of the most interesting figures in Chinese history. An unbelievable character, I think. Let's keep moving anyway, shall we? There is another pagoda not too far away, but it's definitely a taxi ride, I think. Also just right on the river. Looks beautiful. Let's go and have a look. Everything in this city is a hill. Let's go. There's a pagoda at the top of this one. I don't think it's really a city that's on, you know, a lot of people's list of places to go in China, Fuzhou. But it's quite nice. And there's a lot of history here as well. There's a lot of things to see. It's got a nice feel to it as well. It's worth a stop for a couple of days, definitely. So this pagoda is from the 1600s, the very, very end of the Ming Dynasty. The original pagoda, there was an ancient pagoda before that, was destroyed during a typhoon. This is a beautiful, beautiful part of the city that apparently not many people come to. So this was another pagoda used for ship navigation, and this pagoda has seen war, believe it or not, and it carries a little bit of damage from that war. In 1884 there were increasing hostilities between France and China, which eventually led to the Sino-French War, and the opening conflict was right here in Fuzhou. In fact, in the water you can just see over there, it was right there. So there have been increased problems with French expansion into Southeast Asia, particularly in Vietnam. The Chinese kind of saw Vietnam, the Qing dynasty saw Vietnam there as almost like a vassal state, I suppose. And the French were obviously pushing their influence there. So there was all these conflicts. Eventually they had a kind of a peace deal between France and the Qing dynasty. But then in Vietnam the French continued, and the Chinese fired on them and kind of killed a lot of French soldiers. So the French decided to kick off big style. Now the French decided to launch an attack right here on the port of Fuzhou. So there's the Battle of Maui right here, and the French fleet came and just destroyed what was one of the largest Qing dynasty kind of naval groups right here, and just laid waste to it. Now the actual the shipyards and everything here, strangely, about several years previously, had actually been largely built and invested in by the French, who then proceeded to destroy it to make a statement. Now this battle, along with other things like the Opium Wars that the British were fighting with the Chinese, it really did just show the difference in military abilities between the Qing dynasty and these Western powers, who were just far superior. And the older Chinese ships really had very little chance against them. And all of these things kind of pushed the Qing dynasty further to its ultimate demise. The end of the Qing dynasty, I mean, there was a lot of problems it had, not just foreign problems, but like homegrown issues as well. It was just particularly weak and inward looking, and didn't really adapt to what was a changing world. and obviously other things were going on as well, like the Taiping Rebellion, which was one of the most, if you don't know much about the Taiping Rebellion, it was essentially a civil war in China led by a, must have been a crazy bastard who thought he was the brother of Jesus Christ, and more people died in the civil war than in World War I. Unbelievable death and destruction. And again, it was similar kind of time towards the end of the 19th century. I know I tend to just give little snippets of history information in my videos. I am kind of planning on doing some more, you know, kind of extensive videos related to the full histories of China's imperial dynasties. But God, that's a lot of work, isn't it? I'll get on it. I will get on it, I promise. That's kind of cool. There's an old warship down there, grounded in the dirt. I quite like old naval history. It's probably part of being British, I suppose. It's quite interesting stuff. Must admit, I'm quite enjoying my time here. It's a pretty nice city, very friendly. Nice little winding alleyways everywhere with, you know, crazy bastards on motorbikes. Nearly killing me and that old lady. Busy part of the city this. Right in the middle, we've got a couple of pagodas. The white pagoda and the black pagoda. About 100 or so meters apart, so let's go and have a look at them. Wonderful, elaborate temples down here. Anyway, the pagoda's right in front of me. Let's go and have a look. This is the white pagoda. Can you tell why? It's not a particularly old pagoda, this. It was built in the 1960s. But it acts as a very beautiful counterpoint to the much older black pagoda, which is just next door. Let's go and have a look. Also, against this amazing blue sky we've got in Fuzhou, it does look quite spectacular. Since I've been down the south from Guangzhou and then obviously through Guangdong and up into Fujian, every single day has just been beautiful weather. Goodness me. Bright blue skies, not a cloud. I haven't seen a cloud for, I don't know, 2 weeks. Alright, I spy another pagoda. It's an old one. This is the black pagoda. There's quite a lot of old stuff in this city. It's nice, it's good to explore when you get away from the really famous tourist stuff, I suppose. This pagoda is quite old. It was built in 941. That is during China's 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms period. Kind of the period in between the Tang and Song dynasties. It's had quite a bit of work done on it, as you can probably tell. But the basic structure remains the same. It's a beauty. And in the shadow of this beautiful, ancient, leaning pagoda, I will finish this video. Cool city, by the way. You know, most people come to Fujian, visit Xiamen and Quanzhou, but actually there's a lot going on here in the capital, Fuzhou, as well. Make the trip. It's worth it. Anyway, until next time, guys, all the best. Take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.